When it comes to K-pop, with a lot of things, all good things come to an end, unfortunately. Sometimes we do have proper closure, and other times our faves continue to live on and defy the odds. And then there are those instances where our faves get diddly squat. No proper promotion, poor management, or just shoved aside like they were nothing. And that's what I'm discussing today. Groups that ended that made me feel like things should have been better for them. Don't be expecting groups like Wonder Girls, who I think had a pretty successful run. 10 years strong, they did well, and for them, they obviously grew up and wanted to pursue personal matters like solos and settling down maybe. Doesn't mean they'll not reunite later on down the road, because I could see that. Sistar is another one. They did so well, 7 years, and they felt it was time. They did their final goodbyes and did farewell stages even. That is how a group should disband. Granted, I think they'll reunite too later on. And then with BAP, I really see them coming together as a group again now that they finally got out from their label. And don't even get me started on them. Give them some time. I think they'll reform. Possibly be forced to go under a new name like Highlight. But I see them sticking together after all they've been through. Alright, so now that we got those out of the way, let me discuss the ones that piss me off. Grab your acid reducer medicine to chase it with your tea because shit's about to get spicy as F up in this bitch.
Kiss, 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 baby, hush, 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 baby,
a group that was together for 7 years until the end of their contract. Do you know how many promo songs they had? Before I say anything, they did not promote in 2014, 2016, or 17. And had one comeback in 2 of those years. Answer, 8. 8! To put things into perspective, Sistar, another comparable girl group who debuted around the same time, had 12 songs. But at least with them, they promoted every single year. Miss A had a lot going for them. They really could have been so much bigger had they promoted more. But it seemed to have been a case of not having the schedules aligned properly, due to a certain member being much more popular and busier than the others. I'm not saying she was the downfall at all. Did the other members ever get the same treatment and promotion to help them maybe balance them out? No. It's really unfortunate how this group had no proper closure. Instead, just let their 2015 comeback be the last, and we're left wondering if they'll ever come back for 2 years, and then nothing. You literally gave them 2 fucking songs, Domino Game and Revenge, and let them run around slaying the shit out of Lady Marmalade, but no, they literally disappeared during the rest of 2014, and we find out they disbanded when the main singer went on to the vocal program and explained that they disbanded. Like, okay, thanks. They had so much potential, and they were hardly ever given a chance. Another group that's just oozing with talent. It's shocking that they came from the same company as Tiara and Davichi, who were both very popular groups. The now MBK Entertainment also had the already veteran group SG Wannabe briefly, but outside of them, it's apparent the company doesn't know how to manage the boy groups properly. Supernova. Okay, that came out really awkward. Speed, who from a co-ed group were split off from the co-ed group into their respective genders. Speed really hit their stride by showcasing they were the real deal. They were fantastic dancers with groundbreaking choreography, vocal covers that show that they could do it, and a rap line to boot. One being the brother of the respected Zico. If it wasn't for the leader Taehoon, who's the Zico's brother, their 2014 stuff would have never happened. They literally did everything. Writing, composing, producing, and being heavily involved in their choreography. And then what happened? Over time, we barely got to see the group. No attention, lineup changes, barely any promotion. We didn't deserve Spica. Y'all didn't deserve these vocal queens. It just goes to show that talent is not everything. Their company B2M has since disintegrated, where it housed artists like Ihyori and Eric Dom, and the artists that have moved on and went to Stone Music Entertainment. But what happened to Spica? I'm pleased to see that the girls mentioned the possibility of reuniting because they deserve another chance. They were a group that had so much vocal talent and never got the popularity they deserved.
We are the dream girls, dream girls. 꿈을 향해 달려가 dream girls.
말 끌려가 날 당겨줘 baby I'm feeling so energetic.
Okay, basically all the groups that formed from a TV show that were only set to be a quote-unquote temporary group. You know, you really have something successful going when you have these groups. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Why don't you instead make these groups be treated like a subunit? Set aside certain months in the year to promote these groups instead of 1, disbanding them after a year or so, if that. And 2, making the members not from the groups waiting around waiting for the member to come back. I feel like there's always ways to make everyone happy. Just a thought.
Cause I am out of my mind 넌 왜 이렇게 달라 내 마음을 몰라
I think the annoying thing about this one is that they went through a lawsuit that they ended up winning, which resulted in the nullifying of their contracts. They were treated horribly by their company and were put into shameful working conditions to survive in this cutthroat industry. When it was all said and done, you'd think they'd come back under a new company together, but nope, they disbanded. I mean, at least they're free now.
너에게 푹 빠져버렸어. 하루하루 따위 허물져. Think I'm in love with you.
TS Entertainment, you piece of shit. Need I say more? Well, I can at least say Secret's last comeback song, being from 2014, was a total fucking banger. I'm in Love was so good. But seriously, nothing from them for 4 years, and we finally get told they disbanded? Rude.
Baby one last try 이제 그만 끝낼래 겉으로 묻지 마
2 years, 3 songs. I just always feel bad for groups that clearly have talent, more so than some of the other popular ones out there, and don't even get recognized because they're almost always from a small company with little resources and funds. And this clearly seems to be the case for them. Although I will point out that they came from Media Line Entertainment, the same company as the Eastlight, so that should be with some red flags right there.
Baby, boy, I miss you. Baby, 너의 너 믿길 바래.
Pledis. If it wasn't for 17, I'd be saying you failed on all of your artists. But then again, to be fair, 17 does their own shit when it comes to their comebacks, so that helps. After School and Orange Caramel really had something going for them. The main group and the subunit were clearly polarizing for their concepts, but they always made it work. They were always special and something unique to look forward to with each comeback. After School worked their asses off to pull a new and interesting dance concept, while Orange Caramel always produced those things that put a smile on your face, which contrasted with the rest of the K-pop girl groups did at the time. But yeah, After School had their last comeback in 2013, and Orange Caramel had theirs in 2014. Nothing else ever again. As each year passed by, we see the members quote-unquote graduate from the group. Muses' popularity in recent years was a fluke due to Pledis 101. But where was After School? The dungeon. The Wikipedia page still says hiatus, and I'm not fucking buying that shit. Nope. They just don't want to admit they am effed up. Prove me wrong, Pledis. Have them come back. Prove me wrong. Don't worry, I'll wait. They're actually the inspiration for me to make this video, only because they announced that they officially disbanded after 7 years. Excuse me, but 7 years? When they literally only had 5 promotional songs and their last Korean comeback being in 2013. That was 6 years ago. DSP used to be such a big company back in the day. What happened, man? They've let their groups just fall by the wayside. A-JAX debuted right alongside with EXO, BAP, New East, and B2B, and A-JAX sadly was left just in the dust without the proper promotion. You have Card, April, and Youngji left. Don't fuck them up too!
내 맘이 다쳤어 하나 늘 힘들 땐 내 곁엔 없었어.
This one just makes me more sad than angry. They even had an entire documentary movie about them. They have gone down as the most underrated K-pop girl group in history, practically, and they went away without ever getting any of the recognition they deserve. Not even a music show win. Nothing. You can fight me all you want, but Hurt Locker was the K-pop song of 2015 summer. One of the best songs of the year, but nope, nothing. They left K-pop here in 2019 with the legacy of always just missing out. That's not how things should end, guys. So, for the honorable mentions, I asked my patrons for Patreon to provide me the K-pop groups disbandments that pissed them off. Before I get to my personal final one, I do want to give a special shout out to all of my patrons for supporting me in this particular month of me working for free on YouTube. I'm still unsure of what I'm going to do on here on YouTube with my monetization, but I appreciate their support, and if you do wish to support me, the links are there in the description. But anyways, one patron named Dusty Young explained that the ARC and the Wonder Boys pissed her off. And yeah, and I could totally see why. While another patron named James said, somehow I'm angriest about the one that hasn't disbanded but might as well have is FX. Me too, James. Me too. It's their 10th anniversary this year, and if I don't see a comeback from them, I'm gonna fucking lose it. But yeah, I can talk more on these honorable mentions as well as many other K-pop groups that I didn't get to discuss in a potential part 2 to this video. And finally, when it comes to this group, I think I'm the most angry with this one. Granted, they are arguably the most successful group out of all of the ones in this video, but how they were managed towards the second half of the run just pisses me off. I don't even want to get into the criticisms about when YG called them ugly and wanted a prettier version and created Blackpink instead. That's saved for a rainy day, thank you very much. Anyways, this group had everything going for them. They broke the mold of what a K-pop girl group should look like. They set the course of new styles of girl group concepts and music. 2NE1 had things looking up for them. Had they consistently come back and used the potential of US Adventures as a full group, not just CL, but fuck, that just pisses me off too, and followed the Gangnam Style hype because they were in the same company, and also their successful American commercial, they could have easily been the first girl group or group to make a big dent in the Western market. But no, you just threw them in a dungeon. Wasted. Minzy went unappreciated when she clearly had more talent in her finger than some of the folks out there. She had enough of the fuckery and left. Not to mention the bomb scandal, when it shouldn't have been a scandal to begin with, was never resolved or handled properly. CL's American debut never went anywhere. All of these plans and comebacks, nothing. Nothing! What do we get? A goodbye song? Disbanded? When the girls never wanted to disband either. YG did it. I'm so fucking done. I heard news this week that there's rumors of a 2NE1 reunion on JDBC. Don't even titillate my senses. With the YG that has given me all this false hope of 2NE1 comebacks all these years, I need photograph evidence, teasers, the whole fucking shebang before I initiate even the subtlest of a fanboy squeal. And I mean, it would go something more like, eee, but imagine like 20 seconds of it. Well, that's it for today's folks. I have run out of time and was planning on discussing more groups for this video, and with this industry, there's tons of disbanded K-pop groups out there, so might as well save them for a rainy day. They say tea is good for a rainy day, right? Hell, tea, coffee, or anything spicy is good when I'm around. I'll make it pour, damn it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoy this. Let me know what other K-pop groups that have now disbanded make you mad. Share below. I appreciate you for stopping by. While you're here, please be sure to check out many more of my works, and see you next time.